Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Well, tonight we're having tacos for supper and it's time to start putting things together. And I'm going to make this topping to go on tacos that is a little bit spicy, but also refreshing and cool too because it uses sour cream and mayonnaise. And we all know that you can stretch your supper budget with tacos and as far as the meat by, if you're using hamburger, you can add beans to it, you can add rice to it, and it stretches it even further to be able to feed more people if that's something that you happen to need in your family. We all may have to be looking at that before too long, and so I would encourage you to practice sometime. Just make your hamburger meat, heat up some beans, refried beans, or even pinto beans if pinto beans is what you want. Whole. I know refried beans are pinto beans. They're just, cooked and smashed up. But anyway, or, put rice in it and just kind of play around with the amounts until you find something that your family likes. But this is a topping to put on the tacos, and we can spend a whole lot of money on condiments, and I thought that I would bring this recipe to you today just to show you something that tastes good, something that you might be familiar with, not 100% the restaurant recipe, but pretty close. And we're going to put this together, and it's a jalapeno creamy jalapeno topping to go on your tacos, burritos, whatever you want it on. You could even use it for a dip for your chips or a vegetable dip. It's really simple and easy, economical, and another way for you to stretch your grocery budget for your family to allow them to have a treat along with their taco without breaking the bank at the store. Now, I know some of this stuff is $3 or $4 a piece, and that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you buy something for your tacos and something different for your burritos and something different for steak night, it all adds up. And we've talked about overabundance of condiments once before, that if we have all the ingredients on hand, well, then we can make them ourselves and save a lot of pennies. So let's get started. Our first ingredient that we're going to add is a half a cup of mayonnaise. And I'm just going to add that right to the bowl. Sorry about that, I had to clean my spoon. And then you're going to need a half a cup of sour cream. You can see how this is going to be a refreshing. Now, I've seen other recipes that instead of mayonnaise and sour cream, they use ranch dressing. It's probably something that Cheyenne would like. But today, I'm just going to use this recipe. She's chuckling in the background. She heard me say that. That girl loves ranch dressing. Okay. I'll get those out of the way. Now, the next ingredients. I'm going to move my bowl. Okay, then I need 3 tablespoons of jalapeno. Now you could use fresh jalapeno if you wanted to. This recipe calls for jalapenos and the juice. So if you want to add the juice, you're going to need this. 3 tablespoons is what you're supposed to use. I'm going to get these sliced up. Now these are tamed jalapenos, so they're spicy, but they're not extremely hot. We go through a lot of jalapenos. This year, I had a crop failure with my jalapenos, so I did not get to can peppers. So I'm having to use canned, which worked out really good because that's another thing that Cheyenne really likes, especially when she was pregnant. She went through the jalapenos. I like them too, though. So anyway, you need 3 tablespoons of pickled jalapenos. Now this is something I feel like you could adjust if you have littles. You know, by all means, adjust your heat levels if it's too much for you. You can also dice them up smaller, but how Blade and Cheyenne and I enjoy the heat, so this is something that we're not concerned about. And I got that just a little bit over 3, but you know what? It's going in. I am not concerned about that at all. So that was about 3.5. And then you need 3, let me make sure I put the right measurement. It calls for 3 tablespoons. That's really going to thin out your, this filling. And that's what you want. Now, if 3 is too much for you, then, you know, by all means adjust it. But this is a spicy jalapeno dressing. Okay, I'm going to wipe this up a little bit so I don't have jalapeno juice running everywhere. Okay, so I've got all of that in there, and now this is going to require some spices. The first one that I'm going to use is a garlic powder. Now make sure you get garlic powder and not garlic salt. I have been known to grab the wrong one before. But this is garlic powder, and you're going to need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Again, your seasonings are totally something that you can adjust according to your taste. The next thing that you're going to need is 1 to 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon. This is going to add a little bit, plus it's going to add color. And we'll see about coming back in and adding more, but so far I added 1 teaspoon of paprika. The next one is one that you want to be careful with. This is your cayenne, ground cayenne pepper, and this calls for between 1/4 and 1/8 of a teaspoon of this powder. I'm going to put 1/8 to start with because that is a lot, and I may actually go just a scant less than that. Remember, that's going to be really hot. And the last ingredient is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to just add a little bit of salt. Let me make sure. Okay, and now all it requires is just giving it a good mix. When this gets all incorporated, you'll want to put it in your fridge and let it set for about an hour or so, or longer, but about an hour should start getting it really incorporated together. And as usual, I've made a little bit of a mess. Okay, we're just going to get this all incorporated together. And you can see that the jalapeno juice really thins it out. It's not super runny, but it is thin. It's not going to be, you know, as thick as the mayonnaise and the sour cream. It's just a matter of getting it all incorporated together. There it is, guys, a creamy jalapeno sauce to put on top of your tacos and burritos. You can put it on top of your refried beans, anything, your rice, anything that you're having on your Mexican food nights. And I hope this helps you to stretch your food budget. Continue to look well to the ways of your household, and I'll see you next time. I love you guys. I really do. And until next time, we're gone.